friends. Oh, 1 second, I have to get something out of the oven. Wait till you see what I'm cooking up today. Woo! All right, I'll show you what I just pulled out there in a second here, but as we get all settled in, oh yeah, I have my oven mitts on, and there's some stuff here. Can you see? There's some sauces and some garlic. I have some cheese here. I have a stone that everything is on, and a pizza cutter. And I'm in the kitchen, and I'm wearing my chef's hat. I got my oven mitts. What could I be up to today? Yep, you're right. I'm making pizza. Did you know that every Friday in the Fontanetta house is pizza night? It's true. Every Friday we make homemade pizza, and we've done it for years. So it got me to thinking, one of my most favorite books is about one of my most favorite foods, pizza, right? And this story is a really fun story about how pizza came about. It's called The Princess and the Pizza. It's by Mary Jane and Herm Ouch. And let's see, I want to get our light right here because, you know, it's very sunny today, but I want to make sure that you can see the pictures without a glare. So I do have my assistant Mia in the house today, so hopefully we can see the pictures. I think I'm going to have to hold it down for you. Now let's see, let me switch around over here. Mia, can you grab that? Let's try, right, can you grab the water bottle, please? Oh yeah, we'll just move it right here. Perfect, then you guys can see. Here we go. Settle in, it's a longer one. Princess Paulina needed a job. Her father had given up his throne to become a wood carver and moved them to a humble shack in a neighboring kingdom. Since the king was still learning, his carvings didn't sell, and Paulina's garden barely kept enough on the table. Do you have a garden? Paulina missed princessing. She missed walking the peacock in the royal garden, surveying the kingdom from the castle tower, and doing the princess wave in royal processions. Ooh, let's practice that princess wave. Now, I know some of you boys are like, oh man, come on. A princess story? Mrs. Fontanetta, I'm a boy. You just hang on. This is not a girly story. Stick with me, boys. Right, Mia?
Right.
All right. Paulina tried walking a stray chicken around her shack, but it only pecked at her bare toes. Ouch, pecked means nibbled or bite. Surveying the kingdom from the shack's leaky roof made even more holes. She tried princess waving to the townspeople from her father's cart, but nobody bothered to wave back. They just thought she was swatting at flies. One day, a page rode past the shack, announcing that the Queen Zelda of Blom was seeking a true princess to become the bride of her son, Prince Drupert. This is my chance to get back to princessing, Paulina cried. She rummaged through her trunk of ex-princess stuff, brushed the wood shavings from her best ball gown, and blew away the bits of sawdust that clung to her diamond tiara. Then she tucked a piece of garlic into her bodice for good luck. Bodice is like a bathing suit kind of that girls would wear underneath their clothes back in these days. She tucked a piece of garlic into her bodice for good luck, snipped some fragrant herbs to cover up the garlic smell, and headed for the castle. Now remember about that garlic and those herbs. Paulina didn't expect much competition. There wasn't another princess for hundreds of miles, but when she got to Blom Castle, Paulina found she was only one of 12 princesses hoping to become the royal bride. When she looked into her assigned room, Paulina saw her bed piled with 16 mattresses. Oh, for Pete's sake, the old princess in the pea trick. That's so once upon a time. Naturally, Paulina didn't sleep all night because she felt the lumpy pea through all of the mattresses. Have you ever heard of that old classic tale, The Princess and the Pea? About they really wanted to test to see if a girl was a princess. They put a teeny tiny pea at the bottom of all these mattresses to see if she would feel it. When the 12 princesses gathered in the throne room the next morning, the 7 who looked bright-eyed were sent home. Now, only Paulina and 4 other sleepy princesses remained. First, they were made to write essays entitled, "Why I Want to Have the Gracious and Exquisitely Beautiful Queen Zelda for My Mother-in-Law." Yikes, that's Queen Zelda. She does not look gracious and exquisitely beautiful. Do you think so? Those are some great describing words. Remember earlier this week when we talked about describing words, adjectives? How would you describe Queen Zelda? Tell me what adjectives you would use. Prince Drupert and Queen Zelda finally appeared in the balcony. Queen Zelda did all the talking. "Congratulations, ladies. You have written some lovely essays, which I will keep in my scrapbook. And you all have passed the mattress test. But to make absolutely sure you are of royal blood, there's a second test. Only a true princess can wear these glass slippers." "Oh, for Pete's sake, you never heard of sneakers?" Paulina asked. Queen Zelda gave Paulina a sharp look like this. Like a side eye, like watching you. "Nobody said you had to hike in them. Just try them on." After the royal page made his way around the room with the slippers, 2 big-footed princesses were sent home. Now, why were they sent home? Yes, because the glass slippers did not fit them. Now, only Paulina and 2 others remained. One was followed around by 7 strange little men. Who does that sound like? A girl followed around by 7 strange little men. You're right, Snow White and the 7 Dwarfs. And the other had such a long braid dragging behind her, Paulina kept tripping over it. Who has a long braid? You're right, Rapunzel from Tangled. "For Pete's sakes, you never heard of a scissors?" Paulina cried. Queen Zelda glared at Paulina. That means she looks at her like this. "You have all passed the second princess test. Your final task is to cook a feast that proves you worthy of being my dear Drupert's wife." Oh, brother. Or as Paulina would say, "for Pete's sake." This set up a wail among the princesses, especially Paulina. "For Pete's sake, you have no royal chef?" "Silence," said the queen. "The table holds the makings for 3 fine feasts. Choose well, for the winner will become my dear Drupert's bride." As Paulina started for the table, the long-haired princess tripped her, then loaded up with food. By the time Paulina got there, the 7 strange little men had run off with everything but some flour, yeast, water, 3 overripe tomatoes, and a hunk of stale cheese. "Hey, that's not fair, Queen Zelda. Will you help me?" "No," said the queen, "because you have a big mouth." Oh, let's think about that. What could Paulina make with some flour, some yeast, some water, some overripe tomatoes? That means that they're done growing. They're actually getting a little mushy. And some stale cheese. What could she do with that? Make a prediction. Let's see. So, a servant escorted Paulina to her room and locked the door. "Hey, how can I cook without a bowl or spoons or pots?" There was no reply. Paulina tried to make bread, kneading the flour, water, and yeast together, but it only stuck to the tray in a flattened mess. She squished the tomatoes over the dough to brighten it up. It looked awful. She sprinkled cheese gratings over the top. It was still a mess, and Paulina was exhausted. "Oh, for Pete's sakes, where's your fairy godmother when you need her? I'm going to take a nap." She reached under the pile of mattresses, pulled out the offending pea, and climbed into the bed. I wonder what will happen. She hadn't been sleeping long when there was a knock at the door. "Only 20 minutes left," called the Queen Zelda. "I don't smell anything cooking." "I'm not cooking," said Paulina. "I'm napping. Then I'm going home." You're not going anywhere, said the queen. The losers will be beheaded. Paulina sat bolt upright. Beheaded? You didn't tell us that. Yeah, well, I forgot, said the queen. Can I have a second chance? How about I try to spin straw into gold? Or maybe I could guess a weird little man's name. That's another fairy tale. Do you know who it is? Do you know who it is, Mia?
Yeah, I think it's Rumpelstiltskin.
Rumpelstiltskin, exactly. No second chances, declared the queen. But that's not fair, Paulina cried. Who needs to be fair? I'm the queen. Paulina leaped out of bed and ran to the window, but it was an unbelievably long drop to the ground. The meal was her only hope. She rushed the tray over to the fireplace, stirred the few remaining hot coals, then crushed her garlic and sprinkled it over the mess for good luck. Finally, Paulina tossed on the herbs to cover up the garlic smell. What does that look like cooking in the fire? You're right. It does. It kind of looks like a pizza. Paulina paced back and forth, planning her escape. Perhaps she could make a deal with the long-haired princess to climb down her braid. She didn't notice that the goopy dough had browned into a crust. The tomatoes were bubbling, and the hard bits of cheese had melted, and the fragrance of garlic and herbs filled the room like this. A page opened the door. Time's up. Paulina took a deep breath and carried her tray into the great dining room. Oh, look at that. That's how sometimes you see a pizza guy carrying a pizza, like in a pizza parlor. And they spin it. The other princesses had made lovely feasts, especially the one who had the 7 strange little men to help her. Prince Jupert went right to Paulina's tray. It's not pretty, but it smells scrumptious. He helped himself to an unusually generous piece. What do you call this dish? Paulina shrugged. I don't know. It can't be an official entry in the contest if it doesn't have a name, said the queen. Oh, for Pete's sake, said Paulina muttered. What's that? Snapped the queen. Pete's what? Remembering the beheading threat, Paulina frantically tried to think of a name. It's Pete's, pizza? The queen took a big bite. Odd name, but it's tasty. The winner is Paulina's pizza. That's how pizza got its name. She was going to say, oh, for Pete's sake. And she went, Pete's, oh, Pete's. She was thinking, and the queen heard the word pizza. You mean I won't be beheaded? I was only kidding about the beheading, said the queen. Then I was only kidding about wanting to marry Prince Jupert. Who needs him? I have other plans. Will you leave your recipe? Asked the queen. No way, said Paulina. It's just become a family secret. She headed for the door. I liked you best, whined the queen, following close behind. Oh, for Pete's sake, muttered Paulina as she stomped across the drawbridge. What do you think? What do you think she's going to do? She's leaving the castle. She has a new recipe. She's named it pizza. Let's see. Today's specials: butterscotch broccoli, chocolate chicken, avocado apricot, pickle parsnip, rosemary rhubarb. Where are they? Princess Paulina's Pizza Palace opened a few weeks later. It featured unusual carved furniture and 50 kinds of pizza. Every Thursday on the royal chef's night off, Queen Zelda and Prince Rupert came to Paulina's for popcorn pineapple pizza. They often stayed to play cards with Paulina's father. Popcorn pineapple pizza? That sounds interesting. And butterscotch broccoli? I don't know about that one. Would you try any of these? Pickle parsnip or avocado apricot? I don't know. From then on, whenever Paulina drove her pizza delivery carts through the town, Doing the princess wave, everybody waved back and ran after her, asking about the day's specials. Life was good. Paulina was grateful not to have Queen Zelda for a mother-in-law, but she still worried about one little thing. What could it be? She worried about getting Queen Zelda as her stepmother. Look who fell in love! Paulina's dad and Queen Zelda. Oh no! Oh my goodness, she has a whole new problem to think about. I hope you enjoyed The Princess and the Pizza. It's a fun little spin-off of some nursery rhymes, or some classic tales, not nursery rhymes, and some fairy tales. It's fun to read that kind of genre, isn't it? To read some fantasy. I enjoy it. I wonder if you do too. Maybe you could drop me a comment or leave me a message on Seesaw and tell me about if you liked this book, if you like fantasy books or classic tales. Maybe you have a favorite classic tale. Like Rapunzel was in here, and Rumpelstiltskin was in here, and Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs were in here. Maybe you could brainstorm a few more of the classic tales or fairy tales that we've read about. You know, what's great about those stories is they just keep getting told and retold and retold and retold. There's lots of different versions. There's lots of different versions of the Gingerbread Man and all kinds of stories like that. The Three Little Pigs and the Big Bad Wolf, the Three Bears and Goldilocks, all of those kinds of stories. And then, since it is Pizza Friday, I'd love to hear what you like on your pizza. And then I'm wondering if there's a different kind of pizza that you like. Like sometimes in my house, we like to use pesto sauce and chicken. I also make a buffalo chicken pizza. And then I love a Hawaiian pizza with prosciutto and ham and barbecue sauce. I love to hear what kind of different pizza you like. And I'd also love to hear what kind of things you just like on your regular pizza when you order. I hope you have a happy Friday and a fabulous weekend. And as always, I'm sending you all kinds of sunshine and all kinds of smiles. Happy weekend, friends. See you Monday. Bye.